Hey, what's up? This is Marcus Hall with Breakthrough Basketball. Today we're going to work on 3 drills to improve your step back jumper.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification.
So for this first drill, we're going to play off the pivot. A couple main keys we're going to have are connecting our footwork and timing it into our step back jumper. We're going to focus on the pickup and hand placement as we step back so that we'll make sure we're ready to shoot. And then we're going to have balance and pop off the floor. As we get to space on any step back jumper, we want to make sure we have a good strong second jump to make sure that we can elevate all the way through. So as I play off the pivot here, I'm going to rip. When I rip through, my first leg's gonna follow, my trail leg's gonna come forward. As my trail leg comes forward, that's what I'm gonna use to push off of to get space. As the trail leg comes forward, I'm then going to get into my pickup. And again, the shot, my hands are ready to shoot as I come through this pickup point. Hands ready to shoot. Last key, I'm gonna go ahead and let my momentum go forward. My torso is gonna go forward, and then I'm gonna simultaneously pull the basketball to my pickup point and push off that inside leg to get space, making sure I try to rise and have pop off the floor and then follow through all the way to my jumper. It's okay to progress through this when it comes to speed, so I'm gonna feel what it feels like all the way through. Rip, pull, pop. Just doing a strong side rip through. Biggest thing is when that trail leg comes, I pick the ball up, and now I can progress and pick up the speed. Now, continuing off the pivot. This time, we're gonna cross step off the pivot. My inside leg is gonna remain the leg that I use to push off of. A good time to use this. Defender's really jamming you. You're trying to sell that downhill drive. Everything's going torso, and then instead of continuing to go forward, you just load the weight and step to space. I think one thing that trips a lot of players up when it comes to the step back is them thinking that it needs to be deceiving or tricky or quick. It's really more about angles and momentum. So I'm gonna have the thorough movement with this downhill drive off this cross step. Then I'm gonna use this to get me space, reaching away from that defender and his line when he's trying to cross in front of me. As I go through these cross steps and these off the pivot step backs, I really want to emphasize that ball pickup. I'm going to punch it and I'm going to get my hands right to shoot so I don't have to do the adjustments as I'm going through the step back. All I need to do is balance up, rise up. Again, aggressive angles down. If I go to the side and then to the side again, tougher shot than getting that defender to run downhill and then banking against his line. Okay, now we're gonna progress to off the dribble step backs and side steps. A lot of the elements from our pivot work are gonna remain the same. I'm still gonna use my inside foot as I'm driving to step back and release to space. Let that weight come forward, absorb onto this inside leg, and then use it to spring to new space, either again laterally or angled back. As I get into this dribble breakdown, I'm gonna explore the game. As I commit to this drive, one leg is gonna end up being an inside leg in relation to the rim. So as I come off these drives, I'm gonna just load that weight and separate back. Again, not necessarily going side to side. I'm trying to get angled downhill to get my defender running there, and then a harsh, abrupt turn into space. The more you allow yourself to absorb down, torso goes down, not only helps load the spring for your step back, but also gets that defender to do the same thing in his downhill slide. Big key here as you work through these, making sure that we still have a strong second jump, having pop to our feet to help aid us. The third step back drill we're going to try to incorporate here today is a downhill committed step back. So this is more frequently used when you've committed to your drive a little longer. You're approaching that rim read where it's, do I finish, do I pass and make a play? This is a really good counter, a great make or miss shot to deal with shot blockers and also to be able to score more efficiently in the lane. So off of this drive, I'll play off the pivot. I'm gonna get downhill multiple dribbles, 1, 2, and I'm still going to be using my inside foot as my timing mechanism to release the space. So imagine I get that defender going downhill with me. We're both going on parallel lines. I'm gonna try to go out and away from those two lines off that inside leg. Biggest thing here is being complete with our movements. We don't want to be short or incomplete or can't check swing a home run. So I'm going to get all the way downhill. I'm really going to load that weight and then release the space. High jumper, trying to set the ball a little earlier here in the mid-range. When you go to these mid-range step backs, don't be overly concerned with being straight vertical. Think more about having balance, flow, and pop off the floor. We don't want to fade away from the play or have a weak attempt. However, we can use our athleticism and footwork to help stay balanced and strong in the air without being so vertical. So I would sacrifice a little verticality to just stay away from being rigid at all. Balance in the air. Work both ways. Again, 1, inside foot comes, there's my timing. You can do this from all areas of the floor. Slot. Multiple dribbles downhill. That last one I'm gonna try to accelerate into to really sell this downhill and then step back from them. You can also work on this off the dribble, but again, I'm committing to the drive, multiple dribbles. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Make sure to add these moves to your personal workouts to improve as time goes. To help with that, we have the link below for the full workout. Make sure to check out Breakthrough Basketball for more drills, and I'll see you on the next one.